think it's important that at the end of the day that we all remain hopeful. I think there have been, miracles happen every day.
Now continuing coverage of another Amber Alert that so many of you have been following. Today marks 2 weeks since 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers went to his bed in Shackle Island at his house there, not to be seen again. Many gathering for a prayer vigil at his high school this evening. Sebastian's disappearance has certainly gripped hearts across Middle Tennessee and beyond. Now, the Sumner County Sheriff's Office launched a massive search for the teen with autism. For more than a week, they searched. Sebastian's biological mother, Katie Proudfoot, and stepfather, Christopher Proudfoot, believe he walked off in the middle of the night. But there's no trace of Sebastian that has been found by investigators on video, by witnesses, or scent picked up by any dogs. This week, investigators combed a landfill in Kentucky, detectives again saying that they came up empty-handed. Tonight, dozens of people gathered at Beach High School, Sebastian's school just down the road from his home. The community wearing green, Sebastian's favorite color, as they prayed together. A statement from Sebastian's mother was also read aloud.
We want to let the community know that we don't have words to express our gratitude for the support we have received in searching for our son. We pray that everyone continues to help search and pray that we find him and bring him home safe.
Before that vigil, community members passed out flyers again, hoping that any type of awareness may help bring Sebastian home.
Our community is not going to forget any child. We're not going to forget any part of our community, and that we're here together in solidarity to be supportive of the efforts to bring him home.
Earlier in the week, the Sumner County Sheriff's Office announced they were scaling back the search effort and focusing more on the investigation aspect into Sebastian's disappearance. Now, anyone with information about where Sebastian could possibly be should immediately call 1-800-TBI-FIND.
An update tonight on the search for missing Sumner County teenager Sebastian Rogers. The TBI says agents are now going over security video provided by neighbors and some businesses in that area. They are also looking at data from the 15-year-old's cell phone and video game system. So far, though, they say it hasn't provided any answers about Rogers' whereabouts. He disappeared from the Shackle Island community near Beach High School, where he's a freshman, on February 26th. It has now been 1 month since 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers disappeared from his home near Beach High School in Sumner County. An exhaustive search has failed to turn up any evidence, any trace of this teen who has autism. But as Fox 17 News' Kelly Avellino shows us, Rogers' father is continuing the search tonight, and he is not alone.
It's my son's favorite color.
Green ribbons and a smile that cannot be mistaken.
His smile lights up the world. He is my heart. If you get to know him, you'll smile all the time. When you see him coming, you'll smile. When you hear his laughter, it's the sun coming through the clouds. He is joy.
But that joy ended a month ago for Seth Rogers, when his son Sebastian is believed to have walked off from his home in the middle of the night. That, according to Sebastian's mother and stepfather, Katie and Chris Proudfoot. Since investigators scaled back their initial ground search to focus more on the investigative side of the case, Rogers says he has not relented in looking for his boy.
Every day. Every day. I have to. To stop looking is to give up hope.
Rogers is now getting help from the United Cajun Navy, an organization that's aided in hundreds of search and rescues and disasters across the country.
Gives me even more hope that the professionals have arrived. The people that are going to lead this, they're going to find my son, and they're going to bring him back to me.
The nonprofit was already in Nashville, helping during the search for missing Mizzou student Riley Strain. Now they'll be coordinating search teams, tracking dogs, and even water searches if necessary for Sebastian. Rogers saying his inquisitive son could be anywhere.
Because knowing him and his curiosity, he might be there. You don't leave any stone unturned.
This, says Sebastian's mother and stepfather, have not been seen in the search efforts. Countless theories about what happened to Sebastian and the family are plastered continually on social media.
Do you have any knowledge whatsoever about your son's disappearance?
I don't. I found out over an hour after his mother found out he was gone. Foul play is still negativity. He's out there. We just got to find him.
Rogers is now calling for more volunteers to help comb Sumner County, he says, beyond the first week's search radius of 5 miles.
We haven't found him yet, so we can't give up hope. We still have to keep looking for him until we find him. We're Sebastian's Army.
I'm Kelly Avellino for Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
We ourselves having an autistic child hits very close to home.
The search for 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers continues tonight in Sumner County, and it is not getting any easier for the community.
Well, multiple law enforcement agencies involved in this ground search today, and civilians are joining the search too, all in an effort to try to bring this teenager home. Fox 17 News' Caitlin Miller joining us live from TBI's headquarters in East Nashville with more. Caitlin?
Yes, Megan and Scott, TBI says that they don't want to leave one stone unturned, so they've been out there every day and night investigating, and so have volunteers. We have spoken with a group today who's been handing out these flyers to keep Sebastian's name and image out in the public eye. Rod Schwint lives in Sebastian Rogers' neighborhood and has an autistic daughter.
It could be my daughter that walked away and disappeared without a trace.
Schwint says it's been a very difficult 5 weeks for the community. And Schwint says it's been very invasive for the neighborhood. He explains there's been both law enforcement, but also random vehicles coming through their street.
People have been coming in almost daily, and they've had to report them to the sheriff's department. They've come in TikTokers that are nationally known, trying to get pictures of the family and so on, that they've been flying drones over houses.
Perry Buckner is an independent volunteer. She says her group has been handing out flyers and doing their own ground search.
If we get permission from families to go and search for properties or anything like that, we'll go out and we'll look.
Buckner says she's been respectful of people's private properties, but adds since they're working separately from law enforcement, they stay out of their way.
When they said today that they were going to be searching in an area, we took that into consideration and we avoided that area completely.
Buckner says their goal is to keep Sebastian's name and face public so they can all work together to bring Sebastian home to his family. TBI says that you can email or call them with any tips. They say that they're taking every tip very seriously and will follow up if needed. Reporting live from East Nashville, I'm Caitlin Miller, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Dozens of bikers rumbled through Sumner County over the weekend to raise awareness into the ongoing search for missing 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers. Meanwhile, Sebastian's dad is still desperately looking for answers.
If I get sleep, I have dreams of my son. When I wake up, he's not here.
For Sebastian's father, he says the last 12 weeks have felt like a real-life nightmare.
Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is out there somewhere, and my goal was to find him.
Jeeps, bikers, and riders revved through the Hendersonville area on Sunday, not wanting the search for Sebastian to go silent.
He went to Beach High School. He lived right there, less than half a mile from here, just like Sebastian. My son's autistic, just like Sebastian, and it hit home. I told my wife, I said, this could have been my son, just as easy.
The event saw turnout from bikers who came from as far as Texas and California, along with others who requested the ride be live streamed so they could watch from Ireland and Australia.
Gives me hope. Gives me hope that my son's case isn't going to become a cold case.
Seth says that he recently made a trip to North Carolina trying to follow a tip about a possible sighting of Sebastian. Unfortunately, that's one of many tips that haven't panned out. Seth says it still gives him hope. Maggie Weaver, News Channel 9.
My son deserves better.
In Operation Crime and Justice, the father of missing Sumner County teenager Sebastian Rogers sharing his frustration over the lack of answers in the case 6 months after his son's disappearance. Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar tonight with a significant update in this case.
Today, the FBI offered a $50,000 reward. It is the latest attempt to solve a case that's gone cold. The missing boy's father tells me he still has hope that his son will be found.
I don't know what's going on, and I'm on a tilt-a-whirl.
Seth Rogers is torn apart. There is still no trace of his 15-year-old son, Sebastian Rogers, who has autism. Investigators say he was last seen on February 26 in the area of Stafford Court in Hendersonville.
It's a 15-year-old missing child. He's my son.
His biological mother, Katie Proudfoot, previously told Fox 17 News she last saw her son Sebastian the night before in their Hendersonville home. Sebastian lived with his mother and her husband, Chris Proudfoot. The two did not want to comment. The TBI, who partners with the FBI and the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, told Fox 17 News, quote, "No evidence at this time indicating criminal activity is involved," end quote. Seth tells me the FBI offering a $50,000 reward is great, but wants more from local law enforcement.
I wish that there was agencies that were emotionally invested to do their job.
Seth has hired a private investigator to continue looking for his son.
I will not fail my son.
I'm about a block away from where Sebastian Rogers was last seen, and since then, there's been no trace of him for 6 months. The FBI is hoping that that $50,000 reward is enough for someone to come forward with information. If you have any information on Rogers' disappearance, you can contact them, or you can call 1-800-TBI-FIND. Reporting in Hendersonville, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
6 months, one long nightmare.
The nightmare continues tonight for that man, the father of missing Sumner County teenager, Sebastian Rogers. Today marks 6 months since Rogers disappeared from his home near Beach High School, literally without a trace. Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar now live in the area in Hendersonville where the search stands tonight. Karen?
Scott, today the FBI offered a $50,000 reward. It's the latest attempt to solve a case that's gone cold. The missing boy's father tells me he still has hope his son can be found.
I don't know what's going on, and I'm on a tilt-a-whirl.
Seth Rogers is torn apart. There is still no trace of his 15-year-old son, Sebastian Rogers, who has autism. Investigators say he was last seen on February 26 in the area of Stafford Court in Hendersonville.
It's a 15-year-old missing child. He's my son.
His biological mother, Katie Proudfoot, previously told Fox 17 News she last saw her son Sebastian the night before in their Hendersonville home. Sebastian lived with his mother and her husband, Chris Proudfoot. The two did not want to comment. The TBI, who partners with the FBI and the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, told Fox 17 News, quote, "No evidence at this time indicating criminal activity is involved," end quote. Seth tells me the FBI offering a $50,000 reward is great, but wants more from local law enforcement.
I wish that there was agencies that were emotionally invested to do their job.
Seth has hired a private investigator to continue looking for his son. Sebastian Rogers' last sighting was just a block from where I'm standing, and since that last sighting, there hasn't been any trace of him. So the FBI is hoping that that $50,000 reward is enough for someone to come forward with any information on his disappearance. If you do have information, you can contact the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, or you can call 1-800-TBI-FIND. Reporting live in Hendersonville, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Karen, thank you. Of course, Fox 17 News has been there every step of the way in the ongoing search for young Sebastian Rogers. You can see all of our previous reporting for yourself at fox17.com. Just search Sebastian, and be sure to make Fox Nashville, our Facebook page, a favorite for all of our newscasts and the latest videos.